Yesterday we talked about ancient. What does ancient mean? What does ancient mean? I love that I saw about 4 or 5 of you instantly raise your hands. That means you remember it. What does ancient mean, Kaden? Very, very old. A long time ago. Good. Civilizations. We talked a little bit about civilizations yesterday. I'm going to say it one more time just so that we have the right information. A civilization is a group of people that usually has cities and farming and leaders. They have their own kind of writing. They might have their own religion. So an ancient civilization is one that is very old and was formed a very long time ago, many, many years ago. Okay? So in first grade, in these first grade listenings, you're going to learn about the Mayan, the Aztec, the Inca, the Egyptian, and the Mesopotamian, which is what they learned in first grade. Okay? So, we're going to look at some key components of... That's the wrong one. We're going to look at some key components of civilizations. Okay? So... Go. Okay, so I want you to look at this picture. An important job in many ancient cities was farming. Farming. Why was farming an important job, do you think? Why do you think farming was an important job a long time ago? Nevaeh? Right, they needed food. People need to eat, so they had to have farmers. So then cities often formed around rivers. Remember, I told you that yesterday. Rivers were super important for these cities because they needed that water to farm and to live. So the ancient Egyptian civilization in Africa formed along the Nile River. So that's something that you learned about. This is an image of that civilization. Okay? So, if you look at this picture of this civilization, there are 2 parts that's shown in this image. Jobs, because they're farming, and cities. You can see the city back behind. Jobs and cities. Okay? So those are the 2 components of a civilization. Now we're going to look at the next page. What is this? What is this? What is this? Anastasia, what is this? It's a map. Yes. This map is of the Nile River, the Tigris, and the Euphrates rivers. The Nile. Where are you, my friend?
Around the Nile.
Why don't I see it? Tigris, Euphrates, where's the Nile? Anybody else see it? Where's my brain? Oh, it's right down here. I thought that's what it was, but I couldn't see the label. So here's the Nile, here's the Euphrates, and here's the Tigris River. So remember I said these rivers are super important for farming and for people because they need water. So they formed their civilizations around these rivers. One of the first civilizations was called Mesopotamia. I want you to say this word. I'm going to say it one more time, and I want you to say it. Listen, it's a really big, fancy word, and this is really cool that you guys are getting to learn about this. I'm going to say it, and then I want you to say it. Mesopotamia. Your turn.
Mesopotamia.
It developed in the area that's now known as the Middle East. So if you ever hear somebody say something about the Middle East, that's where Mesopotamia was. This is a map showing the area in which the Mesopotamian civilization developed between the Tigris and the Euphrates River. So right up in here would be between the Tigris and the Euphrates River. That would be around where Mesopotamia was. Okay? Like all ancient civilizations, Mesopotamia had a government and laws. Do we have a government?
Yeah.
Yes. Do we have laws?
Yes.
Yes. So this civilization also had that. one of Mesopotamia's leaders, King Hammurabi, created a set of written laws known as the Code of Hammurabi. Okay? So he created laws, just like we have laws today. I want you to look at this picture. Okay. This is cool. This is Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu.
Machu
Wait, I've
Picchu.
heard of that.
You have heard of, I'm sure some of you have heard of that. So, all civilizations have large cities. This was a city. And I cannot wait to show you. I have pictures because when I was in college, I got to go to Mexico. I got to go to Belize, and I got to go to Guatemala and see some of these places. I have not been to Machu Picchu, but I've been to one of these civilizations that's called Chichen Itza, and it was so much fun. We got to walk around. We got to explore. Oh, my gosh. I climbed to the top of one of them, and I have a picture of myself because I was afraid to come back down. I made it to the top, but I was terrified to come back down. So I will show you those pictures tomorrow. Okay, we're not going to do it today. Maybe if we have time this afternoon, maybe we will. Okay, listen. All civilizations have large cities. This is a city with a form of governance. The Incan civilization and early American civilization. Somebody's iPad is talking and it needs to stop. Turn it off. Pick it up. Turn it off. Each civilization, such as the Mayan, Aztec, Incan, Egyptian, and Mesopotamian civilizations, all had a religion. Okay? So, like, we don't want to get too far into this because we're just learning about the different types of religion. We're not telling you you have to have a certain religion. But in order to be an ancient civilization, then they had a religion, and most of them believed in many gods and goddesses. Kind of like if you think about like Percy Jackson, Hercules. There's lots of different gods and goddesses. And so back then, when those people were living in those civilizations, they believed in lots of different gods and goddesses. Okay? Okay, look at this picture. I showed you some of these yesterday. Civilizations also had a system of writing. This is Egyptian, and we call Egyptian writing hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics. Your turn. Hieroglyphics. That's what we called it. And it's a bunch of different pictures used by the people of Egypt. Okay? The next one is another example of writing. We showed you this one yesterday also. This is writing from Mesopotamia. And it's called cuneiform. I hope I'm saying that right. Cuneiform. Okay? No, I can't read that. I don't know what that says. Okay, so listen. You're going to learn about two ancient civilizations in this domain. So this book, this domain 2, you're going to learn about two ancient civilizations. Number one is the Indus River Valley civilization. So that's in ancient India. And you're going to learn about ancient Chinese civilization. These civilizations will have many of the key components that we just reviewed. Hey, some of you are making so much noise. I don't have an answer. I'm teaching right now. Okay, so we are going to talk about Asia. Stop. We're going to talk about Asia, and in Asia, there are two biggest countries, or the countries with the most people, we say most populous, is India and China. I showed you those yesterday, India and China, but I'll pull those up again before we do the read aloud. More than 1 billion people live in each of these countries today. We're going to learn about the ancient Indus River Valley civilization that began in India. Ancient India also included some countries of India and Pakistan, so I'll show you those pictures too. You're also going to learn about the ancient Chinese civilization, And you're going to hear what life was like for the people who lived in these two ancient civilizations all those years ago. You're also going to learn about some of the inventions created in these ancient civilizations. These are inventions that are still used in Asia and around the world today. Okay, so we will do the read aloud later because we don't have enough time to do the read aloud.